Pancho and Bill!
I'm Franz. What's up, y'all?
How you doing? It's been a while, but we're back. It's towards the end of the summer. We've had a very cool summer in St. Louis, which is very rare. We're enjoying that. Though it seems a little warmer today.
Yeah. It feels pretty good today.
So we're going to jump right in. We're going to start with a little bit of baseball. The Red Sox, my favorite team, are just barely staying on top of the East Division. In the National League Central, the Cardinals are struggling to regain their first place with the raging Pittsburgh Pirates, who are unstoppable. But even more unstoppable is in the National League West, the Los Angeles Dodgers, who were really stinky in the first half, have suddenly gone crazy and are winning so many. They're like, I believe as of today, for the past 49 games, they are 41-8. That is only the second time in the past 100 years that a National League team has done that high. The Yankees have done it, because they're Yankers.
So the competition has stepped up.
Yeah. So for something happened. The Dodgers, I don't know if they changed the water in LA or something, but maybe they put some juice in the water.
Hey, things change,
Anyway, speaking of change, we're also going to go right into something more serious. We've been paying so much attention to the Syrian civil war, but what's going on now in Egypt is equally nuts.
Right.
As you know, a couple of years ago, Hosni Mubarak was, there was a big part of the Arab Spring. They knocked him out,
Right.
and replaced him with they had a real, honest to good election and elected Mohammed Morsi of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Yeah, of the Muslim Brotherhood. Yeah.
And then he turned out to be not much better. Then what happened?
Then the military coup.
The military coup. Because people were protesting for so long, millions of people were protesting in Egypt. We want Morsi out. He's bad.
Right. Well, I feel for the people more, because they need to get that clown out of there. Because they spent all that time. Voting for this guy, getting out there, campaigning for this guy, and what does he do? He turns around and stabs them all in the back.
Yeah.
They worked hard for that. Get that clown out of there. But now the military coup, I don't know what to say about what to do in Egypt.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's really hard. But my concern is for the people.
So here, I'm with you. So what's kind of weird is that even if Morsi wasn't doing a good job as a president, usually in the spirit of democracy, you wait until his term is done, then vote somebody else in.
Right.
However, the military, as well as the people, were saying you can't even use that as a logical solution, because what Morsi was doing was like Mubarak. He was doing everything to undermine that new constitution so that there would never be another election.
Right.
So they're like, well, we had to do a coup. And you're like, well, that's not very democratic either, so...
But you know what, though? What do you do? Because Morsi was going to just be destructive.
Mm-hmm.
He seemed to me almost worse than Mubarak a little bit, because it seemed the way he just came in and gangster just took it. It was like the mob squad, Yeah. So I'm glad they got him out of there, but now how do you get the military in control, and how do you get the people the democracy that they need and want? That's the key thing. What do you do?
See, I think they're both wrong, because now that the coup happened, naturally the Morsi supporters are protesting. And what's happening when the Morsi protesters, the people protest, they have their right to speak their mind. What happens? That same coup that tried to prevent Morsi from being a bad thing, that same military regime is now killing the protesters. And we're up to a count of 600.
Right.
And it's not over yet, because just today they were, I guess some of those Morsi supporters were in a mosque, and they were attacking the mosque.
But I'm not surprised, man, because look at the Morsi supporters. They're the Muslim Brotherhood. They're something else.
Yeah, I guess some Christians are getting beat on too, but that's why I think nobody's right.
Right.
Because everybody's misbehaving.
But if nobody does anything and you just stand and do nothing, nothing gets done. Am I right? So, what would be your suggestion? What do you think they should do?
What I think they should do is not have done the coup.
Okay.
But they should have, stepped in and sort of made sure that Morsi didn't keep on, taking away all, reinforcing his own rule. They should have stepped in and said, we're going to safeguard this democratic process and prevent you from preventing in the next election.
But, okay, then let me ask you this. What if they're sitting there and it's like, he's talking and he's talking about, you know how sometimes you get people in the room in private and you find out who they really are?
Mm-hmm.
They could have found out that this fool is crazy.
Yeah,
We gotta get him out of here.
that's probably true.
You know,
That's probably true.
But who knows, man? I don't know. Maybe you're right, you're wrong, I don't know. All I know is that the people are suffering and the democracy is suffering.
Right.
You know?
I guess what the part of the problem is, it's a cultural change because the West is used to democracy and how, you know, what the right thing and the wrong thing is to do.
Right.
But but other parts of the world aren't like that. I mean, Egypt supposedly had a democracy, but it really didn't with Mubarak.
Right.
So they're like, oh, here we're going again with another. We got, like they said, like that song, meet the new boss, same as the old boss, right?
Right.
So I don't know. It's just another messy solution. This is just more people getting killed.
You know what? But I will say this. I'm proud of the people of Egypt because they are actually fighting and dying for their belief in freedom. You know what I'm saying? And belief in democracy. So I mean, some.
Other people are fighting and dying for their belief in Islam.
Yeah, of course. You got those. War is something else. It's really it's brutal on both sides. So I kind of just, but for the people that are actually just fighting for their freedom, wanting to be able to excel in life and not be labeled or numbered, I'm proud of those people because they have to fight. Otherwise, it's never going to come to them.
I would say that a lot of those people are caught in the middle.
Yeah, well, you got to.
Yeah.
Because protests makes things change. We wouldn't have had the Civil Rights Act if we didn't protest. A lot of people died in that. But sometimes you have to lose some to gain best for the whole.
Let's hope that's the way it turns out.
I hope so.
All right, now let's move on to something a little bit lighter.
Yes.
We're going to watch a music video. Tell me about that.
Well, the song is called This Is Your Life, written by moi.
Franz Bee, this time without the T.
Yeah. Thank you. And beat by Bug C. But I think it's a good song, man. It's a life lesson song. So.
Okay, what's it called?
This Is Your Life.
Okay.
Check it out. This is your life. Do what you gotta do. This is your life. Always really up to you. This is your life. Don't be listening to these fools. This is your life. Go do what you gotta do. Woke up, looked up to the clouds up in the sun. I felt like today was gonna be a good day, a lovely one. Hopped up, cleaned up to make a few runs. Got fresh in the air, that's right. So many sexy, rockin' sexy in the hot winter sunlight. Burn, baby, burn. You got a body, make a brother squirm. And teach me, baby, and baby, I will learn. I'll perm that perm and paint them toes. Just as long as you touch them knees to them elbows. This is your life. Do what you gotta do. This is your life. Always really up to you. This is your life. Don't be listening to these fools. This is your life. Go do what you gotta do. Now she's caught up, he's boinking her all night and whispering sweet, nothing's in her, is clouding her side. Now it's 6 years, 2 kids later, now all they do is fight. He's coming in late all the time and something don't seem right. He said he's at work, she said he's a lying jerk. And she confronts him about that smell she smells up in his shirt. He skirts around the question quickly and reminds her of all her perks and reassures her there is no clothes closet dirt. This is your life. Do what you gotta do. This is your life. Always really up to you. This is your life. Don't be listening to these fools. your wifey kids dying at advanced age. Cause hubby was king, ding-a-ling on the low-down dirty stage. Lying there, memories flash on how he and they behave. His boy who lied, dead of AIDS in his own grave. This is your life, do what you gotta do. This is your life, it's really, really up to you. This is your life, don't be listening to these fools. This is your life, now go do what you gotta do. This is your life, do what you gotta do. This is your life, it's really, really up to you. This is your life, don't be listening to these fools. This is your life, now go do what you gotta do.
All right, welcome back to the Bill and Franz show. We just saw Franz's video. What's the story?
Oh man, this is your life. Well, it's a story about a girl who meets the wrong guy and makes a decision based on her heart and ends up paying for it in the end because he's full of lies and deception.
All right, okay, that sounds messy.
Yeah, it's pretty messy, man.
You want to go verse by verse? It's like a whole storyline, right?
Right. Well, in the beginning, it starts off where they meet,
Mm-hmm.
and she's this guy is handsome, you know, and so he sees it, and so they hook up and start dating and having fun. Next thing you know, they're married. You know, 6 years later, they're married and have 2 kids, and so he's the man of the house bringing in the bacon, he's cooking the bacon, you know. And so, but she starts to notice things are different, and he's coming in late all the time, so she confronts him about it, and he says, "Nah, baby, it's all good, you know, stop tripping because I'm taking care of us really well, you know." So she kind of leaves it alone.
Don't complain because I'm giving you all this.
Right, I'm taking care of you. You know, don't complain, stop tripping. Right, so she lets it go. But then sometime later, she's real sick and she's going through the stages of the last stages of AIDS because her and the children are dying. And so it's basically a story that's saying that just because the package looks good, kind of monitor the package, look at him, talk to him, or talk to her, vice versa, whichever the case may be. Because just because it looks good doesn't mean it necessarily is good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because people lie all the time for various reasons. And you just can't jump into an empty swimming pool. Live your life. And don't get caught up in everybody else's problems. And don't go in with your eyes shut in these situations.
I got one question to ask you, or at least one question to ask you. You mentioned during that plot line, as their marriage went on, suddenly she had AIDS and so did her children. What's that about?
Well, that's because, come to find out, he's on the down low. You know, so he married, have children, but he likes to have sex with men also.
So he's cheating on her.
So he's cheating on her, right?
Okay.
And so, and through that cheating relationship, he catches AIDS, and then ends up giving it to her. And while he's still healthy, for some reason, his family's dying. You know what I'm saying?
Passes it on.
Passes it on, and somehow they catch it, and it gets worse for them, and they die before him, and he's, you know, alive. You know, so it's not a gay thing, you know, because most people might try to attach that to it, but it's not. That's the deception in this story.
So it's almost like the AIDS almost symbolizes the poison of deception.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's a great story. I think it's a story of hope. I think it's tragedy too, but it's a story of hope and perseverance. Because that's what I'm pushing through the song. Your own independence. Don't get caught up in what he said. That's what the song is about. I'm trying to push hope, you know, through a real story.
I have a thing where sometimes I say that if I meet somebody and I don't know them, they automatically get my respect,
Right.
unless they lose it.
Right.
However, they don't have my trust until they earn it.
Keep your head up, you know, keep moving forward. and work hard for what you want. Don't depend on nobody to get anything for you. I'm talking to the ladies because I have 2 daughters. And you don't need no man to do anything for you. If you decide that you want it, you can go get it and keep your self-esteem up. Love, peace, and happiness.
That's how we do it on Bill and Frantz Show.
Yeah. All right.
See you next time.